The sun sets over a horizon thick with smoke, painting the sky an unsettling shade of orange. In the distance, a blaze rages, devouring everything in its path: homes, forests, entire communities. The fire seems unstoppable, and yet it's just one in a growing series of catastrophic wildfires that have become a year-round nightmare. Once seasonal, these infernos now burn relentlessly, threatening everything we know and love. But what's behind this unrelenting surge of wildfires? What has turned this natural disaster into an all-consuming force? And how far will it go before we are forced to reckon with its full power? We're no longer talking about a fire season. We're talking about an emergency that demands immediate action. Wildfires are breaking records. Records for size, speed, and destruction, and they're only getting worse. So, what's fueling this unprecedented crisis? Let's explore the shocking truth and how we can stop it before it's too late. Wildfires are far from a new threat. They've always played a role in nature's life cycle, clearing out old growth to make way for new. But what we're witnessing today is something entirely different. In the 1980s, wildfires burned an average of 3.5 million acres a year across the US. Fast forward to the present, and we're facing a terrifying new reality. In the past decade, wildfires have scorched 7 million acres annually, a staggering 100% increase. These fires are growing more frequent, more intense, and more destructive. Take the 2018 Camp Fire in California, which became the deadliest in state history. It destroyed 154,000 acres, wiped out over 18,800 structures, and tragically took 85 lives. The total damage? $16.5 billion. And then came the 2021 Dixie Fire, which ravaged nearly 1 million acres. That's the size of Rhode Island, and wiped out entire towns like Greenville, California. The total costs were staggering, with damages surpassing $600 million. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a wider trend of increasingly destructive and widespread wildfires. But it doesn't stop there. In the early days of January 2025, Southern California was once again engulfed by a catastrophic wildfire that has already claimed 11 lives, destroyed over 10,000 homes, and forced the evacuation of more than 180,000 residents. This is the latest in a growing number of catastrophic fires, highlighting the urgent need for action. And the damages? Expected to hit $20 billion in just one fire season. This is no longer a seasonal event, it's a year-round threat. So what's behind this dramatic shift in wildfire behavior? The short answer: climate change, combined with human actions. While lightning and dry weather do spark some fires, a staggering 90% of wildfires are caused by humans. From campfires left unattended to illegal burning, the causes are widespread. In 2020 alone, fireworks sparked dozens of wildfires across the West, while unattended campfires and burn piles contributed to a devastating wildfire season. But the real culprit is the ever-growing impact of climate change. As temperatures rise, weather patterns shift, and droughts intensify, the conditions for wildfires are becoming perfect. Take the Colorado snowpack, for example. Over the last 50 years, it's decreased by a staggering 30%, which means there's less snow to melt and more dry, flammable land. Meanwhile, fire seasons are now 75 days longer than they were just 40 years ago, with 7 out of the last 10 years being among the largest fire seasons on record. Combine these drier conditions with stronger winds, and you have the perfect storm, a recipe for megafires that can burn for weeks and wipe entire regions off the map. Wildfires don't just burn landscapes, they burn lives. Between 2017 and 2021, wildfires in the US caused $80 billion in damage. That's $16 billion a year in losses. In 2020, California alone was forced to evacuate 60,000 residents as over 4 million acres burned. Thousands of homes were lost, and for many families, there was nothing left to return to. But it's not just humans who are suffering. Wildfires destroy habitats and push vulnerable species to the brink. In Yellowstone National Park, the 1988 fires devastated 36% of the park, permanently altering its delicate ecosystems. And it's not just the fires themselves that are dangerous. The smoke from these fires doesn't just stay local, it spreads. In 2021, smoke from the wildfires in the Pacific Northwest traveled a jaw-dropping 3,000 miles, reaching cities like New York, where the air quality became hazardous for millions of people. The environmental toll is incalculable, from the destruction of critical wildlife habitats to the carbon emissions released into the atmosphere. further fueling the cycle of climate change. Despite the devastation, there is hope. Communities that have been ravaged by wildfires are showing resilience. In Paradise, California, where the campfire destroyed the town, residents are rebuilding with fire-resistant infrastructure, better evacuation routes, and smarter city planning. This level of preparedness is critical for future survival. In addition, innovative solutions are being developed to fight fires and help restore burned landscapes. Reforestation projects are underway, with millions of trees being planted each year to help restore ecosystems and prevent future fires. These efforts are key to building a more fire-resilient future. The wildfire crisis is not just an American issue, it's a global emergency that affects us all. But here's the good news: we can make a difference. Whether it's advocating for stronger climate policies, supporting local firefighting efforts, or practicing fire safety, every small action helps. The time to act is now. The fires are only getting bigger, but so is our resolve to fight them. Together, we can protect our forests, our homes, and our planet. The flames may be fierce, but our determination is even stronger.